Hey, good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary, and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chatter report. So this morning, Mary's going to take it away and start with our water and weather, and after we're going to move on to some news we have going on. We have some flu-like viruses going around, some bronchitis, some other stuff. Man, we want to touch base on that. We've talked to a few people, man, a couple in town, and then we're going to talk about some other things that have happened out here. Mary's going to take it away from here, though, man, and tell us what's up.
All right. Thank you, Donald.
You're welcome, man.
Good morning, everybody. In Blairsville this morning, it is 34 degrees and fair. We're looking at a high of 68 degrees today with sunshine. The winds will be 5 to 10 miles per hour, so it's going to be a gorgeous day. And then tonight, we're looking at 34 degrees with a clear sky overnight. Up on Blood Mountain today, highest mountain on the Appalachian Trail here in Georgia, we have 58 and sunny. So I'm imagining that it's going to be a great day for some of those views. And then tonight, 38 degrees and mostly clear. Winds will be between 5 and 10 miles per hour with gusts between 20 and 25 miles per hour. So right now, water is good on the trail. You know, we had a lot of rain and snow and ice melt, so water's really good out there right now. Over the last couple of days, I did have some riders that I was speaking with, bringing them back to the trail after that weather we had last week, and they were telling me that certainly it was cold out there. Their water froze, so make sure with that happening that some of the filters they will freeze, and that will destroy your filter most likely. So
a lot of those gravity
warm.
I apologize. Yes, make sure you keep them warm. But I wanted to throw in there a lot of those gravity fed filters.
Yes.
Like the Sawyers, platypus.
Definitely,
and stuff, man.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Now I'm going to turn it over to Donald, and he's going to give you some more information of what we got going on out here.
Sweet, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, sweet guys. Today we're going to start off with this through hike registry, man. And so today, as of 2/25/2025, the through northbounder number is 1,735. And we popped up another 28 since yesterday. So the numbers are starting to rise, dude.
And adding to the NOBO, I just want to say, you know how we were looking at March 1st? It's actually up to 75 now.
Yeah, I saw that, dude, right here, man. So definitely, really bro. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep, definitely, dude. 75 now, guys. So that means the numbers are going up. I think people are starting to see that the trail is all good, man, and that it isn't impassable.
No, it's not at all.
Or whatever that people are saying, man. It is definitely good to roll through, man. And there are definitely businesses out here that are here to help you, and there's no problems as you get north, man. Anywhere to get a shuttle or a place to stay. Hostels are not the only place, man.
That's right.
There are hotels in the towns too, man. So, but there are. I'm just saying that because that's not the only place, guys.
Right.
There's other places you can go to, and if the hostel's closed, just go to the town next to it, or look harder, man, for an Airbnb or something. Man, you can make this work, guys. So if you want it, go after it. And there's some Airbnbs, man. You can get them cheaper than than the hotels, man. I've got mountaintop houses for $150 a night, man. Like 5,000 square feet with you can see for hundreds of miles, man. Literally down in here in this area, especially this time of year, man, because it's the slow time of year, man. And so everyone's just trying to fill their vacancies, man. And so that's what's up, guys. Just keep looking, man. Explore your
the options.
Exactly. There's more options than just a shuttle or a hostel. So just keep that in mind, okay, guys? All right.
I get that there.
And then flip flops. We got 94. We're up 3. And then southbounders, we have 4. And so once again, we look at March.
Right.
When you go onto the registry, it says like March 2025, click. This is that information for that month. So we don't like to go too far ahead, like I've said in the past. Those numbers these numbers. And so I wanted to say something about this too. We get a lot of people that don't even register. They just go straight to Springer because they're so pissed off at the ATC, man. So they just don't. They don't register. So these numbers, like I said.
And I've heard that from numerous hikers this year that we've been
that's why I
assisting because they, we were talking about registration through Hike, and they were saying, yeah, I didn't register, or they were saying, I've talked to several people that are not registering specifically because of the ATC.
Yeah, see, yeah, man, definitely, guys. So I think these numbers, they're fun to look at and they're fun to talk about, but I wouldn't pay complete attention to this. I feel like this year, man, I feel like since January 1st, dude, that we have been pretty steady.
Oh, certainly.
It's a different type of, this is probably the strangest year. Let's just say that. This is the biggest change I've seen yet in years, man. So the trail is changing. The numbers aren't shrinking. It's just different. They're hitting different now. So I just, that's just how I feel about it. And so, all right. Did we talk about this yet?
No, not yet.
All right, guys, man. So we want to talk a little bit about norovirus and bronchitis and the flu. We have, why don't you go ahead and tell us since you have.
All right. I've had some conversation with a couple of hikers that they are hiking together, and they were telling me that, they went to town because, one of them was sick and they believed it was bronchitis. They had stayed in another area where, other hikers were coughing. And then the last place that they did stay before they came to town, there was another hiker having a pretty rough time of it. So they're kind of thinking it's bronchitis. Now, when I speak with them again, I can most certainly find out on their behalf if that was bronchitis, because a doctor was in the plans to get it taken care of. They're getting some rest and, getting their strength back up so they can hit the trail again with some good healing. So I don't have definite on the bronchitis yet, but when I do, we'll certainly let people know.
Is bronchitis going to be spread?
I believe, to the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay. All right, guys. So be aware that there is norovirus, flu, bronchitis, and other sicknesses going out here that can be spread when you're in closed quarters. Just be aware of it. Wash your hands as much as possible. Don't share food. Don't share anything, really, man. Just it doesn't mean like be all scared, man, but just be aware of it. Like when you go to the shelters, I've said it before, these things right here, man, everyone's touching. And I love to read the journals, man, but I carry my own pen and pencil, man, just so I can scribble my own stuff with my own pen that no one's touched. I do this in life anyways. When you go to the stores and they have those pens in the little cups that you can sign, man, I don't touch those. I pull my own pen out or my pack or something. So yeah, man, that's just that's just the way I am, man. I don't like to get sick. This can end your, so those people have been there for a few days already, and we're not picking them up till like Wednesday or something, man. So that's like 4, 5, 6 days possibly in town. And so they were at a hostel first, and then they got brought into town because the hostel wanted them. They didn't, they're sick, can't be in the hostels, so they brought them to town, and so I think they may have been there for a couple of days, or maybe even a day.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long, but
maybe they weren't even there. Who knows, man? But I know that they've been in town since at least yesterday and Wednesday. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So that's 5 days of, let's say $100. That's $400 to $500 being spent just on the rooms. Now you get to eat too.
That's right.
So be very careful, guys, about getting sick if you don't want to blast off that big a chunk of cash right in the beginning, unless you can lay in a tent, be sick.
Right.
You know what I mean, man? Which isn't very pleasant.
No,
so so these are going. This stuff right here is definitely going around. We did have 3 ladies last night.
That's right.
With 3 dogs
Yes.
that were needing to get off trail because their pups were not handling the trail very well. And so we ended up picking them up at Springer Mountain and getting them down to Alpharetta,
Yes.
where they're going to be renting a vehicle and then heading on home. I wanted to say, bringing your dogs out here for 2,100 plus mile hike is, or 2,200, whatever. Wait, what is it now? 2,197. It changes every
Yeah, it changes every
year, man.
so
it's hard to keep track.
Somewhere in that number.
So 2,100 plus miles.
Right.
And you're just taking your dog from your house, man. This can be rough for them, and we see it all the time. People will bring their pups out here, man, and they won't even make it up the trail 100 feet, and they gotta leave, man, because their pup can't handle it.
That's
or their dog.
Do you remember that? I don't mean to interrupt you, but remember the first year when we were just, starting this, and the guy called us from the Byron Reese. We took him over to
What do you got? That's a beagle, man.
He had that, he had the little dog, and we dropped him off. And I think we had just come off of Wolfpen Gap Road on 180, getting ready to head back down to town. He calls back up, and can you come get me? My dog doesn't want to hike. And we pull up there, and it's cold and windy, and he's got his little dog all wrapped up in the blanket or his sleeping bag, and he's got little booties on him.
Oh, he's so cute, wasn't he?
Yep. Absolutely. So that's a really good example of what you can go through out here if you bring a dog with you. Over the years, I've picked up people with dogs that have been overheated. Their pads are tore up and blistered. They're cold and wet. They don't want to be cold and wet no more than we do. So there's been numerous occasions that we've had to go extract people with their pups. And as much as you love your pup and want to take them with you, sometimes it's just not the best thing. They're happy to stay home and lounge on the couch.
Right, dude, the house pups, man. And so, or have it, or know that your dog is going to need the same type of conditioning or training or acclimation or whatever, dude, to the trail, man, or what you're doing. So when you get out here, be mindful that your dog can't do that too, man. I mean, yeah, they can run around the yard 100 times, bro, in a circle and dig 50 holes, man, but once you get on this trail and they start moving up the trail, it's rocky and it's tough, and you're doing day after day after day consecutively, man, of multiple mile hikes each day, and you're not really stopping. The pup, man, it needs time to get just like you guys, like we do,
get conditioned.
Yeah, and so if you are going to bring your pup out here, man, just be aware of that, guys, man, because we see it a lot, man. So, but these ladies did have to end their hike because of their dogs, and they're going to take them home and then possibly come back.
Yes, that's the plan. They're hoping to come back.
Hopefully they do, man. I'm going to say, honestly,
it's a 50-50.
Yeah, man. Most people that go home never come back. There's a very, very small percentage that does, and that's from years of experience, man. Like anyone that quits early, and you can see it. You can actually, when you take a person up to the trail, you can almost see who's gonna do it, who isn't. And we've made mistakes. Don't get me wrong, but you can almost hear it when they talk. You can kind of be like, okay. And I hate to say that, man, but you just know after a while. It's just like, yeah, that dude's probably going to make it. Or that dude, unfortunately, may not make it unless he changes or he or she changes their views on what's going on out here, man. Because some people romanticize it and they dream, and that's okay, man. But not everyone can do miles and miles and miles every single day.
That's right.
We're not like it's just the way it is.
That's right.
But okay, next, let's see. I actually had a southbounder that called me last year at the end of the year. And he's doing a story for Hiker Magazine, I think it's called, but he's doing a story on trail angels and businesses, and he wanted to do one on us because he sees us as a person or people or a business that is legit, but also gives. Like, we'll go out of our way to give. And he saw that. And so he chose us because he wants to do it on, so this was the example he used. I think it was last year, there was a lady on the AZT trail. He's doing the 3 trails. He's doing trail angels, or people, businesses on trail that are like us, man, that, we're not rich. We have to keep things going, but we'll give as much as we can. And that's what happened here. There was a lady on the AZT trail that was given a certificate, or all the West said that she was a trail angel and was on this list. Well, I guess she got taken off of it because she asks for a $20 donation to pick someone up and bring them to their house. And so they took her off the trail angel list and pretty much, blackballed her from that because she asked for a $20 donation. And so he wanted to do an article on how the trail is changing and evolving, and how businesses, to continue to give, we're not rich.
Right.
We need to run a business. And so he wanted to use us as an example because he found us the most interesting on his whole through hike. He actually triple crowned. That was what he was doing. He was triple crowning this year, or excuse me, when he was doing the AT, this was his last trail. So out of all the trails that he's done and everything he'd seen, he saw us and wanted to really put it out there. And dudes, this is what I've been trying to say, man. Like, there's a fine line, man, like, between business and hiker community. You have to be able to balance that out, or you'll drown out. There's no way a person can continue to give rides and gift the community, like tents and sleeping bags. Like, there's stuff we don't show people. Well, if someone needs something, we're going to go out and buy it. And we have for years, but we don't film and picture it.
Right, it's not for us to
It's people in the background that actually have seen us doing it and felt the love, man, and the gifts. They know. And so this dude knew because we helped him out, man. And so he told me, man, he was like, dude, I chose you guys because of the lady that was blackballed from the thru hiker, the Alda West, dude, because she was charging donations, which she probably needed because she's driving all over the place, man, and letting people stay at her home and feeding them and stuff. And it's like, man, the donation-based thing years ago was to get by the insurance and stuff, man. And it's the funny thing is, man, is not the funny thing, but what I've seen throughout the years that has changed is everyone wants to be labeled a trail angel out here, man. Like, it's almost like a trendy type feel to it, man. I mean, it's weird, man. And it's like, why do you have to have that label to be a good person, man? You know what I mean? But everyone wants to be that. So like, nowadays, but back in the day, it was more, because we know a bunch of people that call themselves trail angels and ask for donation or donation-based business. Donation means no insurance and no taxes. That's why they use that. Today, you can't get away with it as easily because there's livery insurance at just about every insurance company. Well, not every insurance company, but most
it's out there and it's very easy to find.
That's right. And so back in the day, it took me a year to find insurance, man, because they weren't insuring people back a decade ago like that, man. It was tough to find it. I searched and searched and searched, and it used to be way more expensive, and you only had a few selections. It was like 300,000, 500,000, a million. It would be like 12,000 a year for the mill, 8,000 or 10,000 for the 500,000, and then it was like $800 a month or something, or $850 a month for the 300,000. And so today you can get 100,000 all the way up to a million. You don't have to put down millions of dollars. You used to have to pretty much pay that all off, man. And so they don't do that anymore. Like, you only need to put down a small amount of money, man, or the first months. It's just different today. And so the donation, the words donation, when you hear those, man, back in the day, it was to escape the
taxes and the insurance.
Yeah. And so that's just something that maybe newer people don't know or have seen evolve into what it has. and change, man, throughout the years as the trail's grown and become more mainstream. It's not so much that hardcore hiker coming out here to challenge themselves. It's just like a wide variety of people. The trail has become more of like I think it's more of a pilgrimage today, man. It's different, dude.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so, but he wanted to discuss the fine line between business and trail angel, or people that gift the magic of the trail to people, man, like whatever it may be. And so he and I had a great talk yesterday, actually. And it's funny because at the end he's like, bro, because he had a bunch of questions. He's like, dude, I was like, I talk a lot, man. But he's like, dude, you literally answered every single question I had just by talking, man. And we had a really great talk. He was a really cool dude, man. Yeah, I'm so glad that he's actually doing this, because I really feel like that it needs to be said so people understand, people like us, man. Our thing is, man, is we always want to keep our hiker safe, and that means insurance, and insurance keeps you safe, guys. Like, we have livery insurance. If we get in an accident with you, there's no questions, there's nothing. There's no trying to escape insurance. We have the proper insurance to cover you guys, and we always have since 28. Well, not always, it took me a year to find it.
Right.
But we've always made sure that our hikers are safe. And I mean, when you get into our car, we have your back, man.
That's right.
And that's something that, like, it's hard to get out there with some people, man. Like, I get calls all the time, man, quite often. And they're always like, well, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And those cats don't get into our car. But they ask these questions, and I love it when they ask, because I'm able to fill them in on what's up. But some people you can't please, man, and you got to know that. And when you hear that in someone's voice, man, we just don't schedule it, because I already know there's going to be issues, man. It's just, you can hear it, man. You can just hear it. And so I'm so glad that he said something, man, because
I am too.
People need to know that, like, we would love to give, man, but we need to run a business too, so we can continue to give. That's why we have the Grateful Hiker. We don't take donations for anything. I mean, if someone wants to give us a donation and say, like, oh, can you give this to, like, last year we had someone, a guy, give some cash for hikers, and we actually ended up splitting it between 4 or 5 different people. So each person got like $20 off their ride or something.
That's right.
And so we do stuff like that, but we don't actually ask for them. We don't like that. We don't want to take anything from anyone, man. I don't like that stuff, man.
Yeah.
It really, we earn it and then we gift it. So I would rather do that, man. You know what I mean, dude? It just feels better, man. And so I don't think, like, we've always had like this thing, man. If you ask for donations to gift the community, you're taking like everyone else's donations and you're doing whatever with it. But I don't know, man.
I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, man. It's weird, dude. It's like, man, if you're a business, or you're trying to give stuff and you're asking for donations for a shuttle, man, why don't you just make it a business, take the money, and then gift what you can back to the community? Right. And so then you don't have to ask for anything, man. You've got a legit show. You're keeping your hikers safe by getting insurance and stuff, and getting a nice car, man, and making sure that your vehicle runs properly when you get into it, man. So
safety is always number one priority for everybody.
It is, man. I wish I was a millionaire, multi-millionaire, because trust me, man, we'd all be partying in spas and stuff. I would have a place built, man. There would be an oasis, man, for people, bro, and we'd all be partying down on music. Billy Strings would be playing every night, and the boys and stuff, man. And so trust me, man, I'd love to do all that, but that's just not how the world is, man. It takes that green cabbage, man, to grease the wheels of the world, man. Because that world's spinning, man. It never stops. And those wheels need to be greased with the green, and it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. So, anyways, that will be out. I'm not sure when, but I'm sure he'll touch base with me. I don't pay much attention to all that, but I thought it was super cool, man. So I ended up talking to him for a while yesterday.
You talked to him for a while, definitely.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'll tell you guys when that comes out, and then I think we're good here. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, I think we've covered everything
Sweet.
that I had and you have and we have, so we're good.
All right, guys. All right, thank you so much, man. One love, peace.